Enjoy it, relax, chill.
Did you keep feeling like you had a game to get ready for Sunday? Like, did you win the
No. Nah, I didn't feel like that at all.
Are breaks like this helpful to sort of reset the mind?
Nah, I know it was good for me. I don't know about everybody else. Yeah.
It was great for me.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Yeah.
I think it was better for me, but
Yeah, probably.
yeah, I know.
Most things are better for you than for me.
Nah, I wouldn't say that,
No,
but
I would.
sure, you said it. Yeah. But no, it was good. Awesome. Just take time off, reset, and just come back and focus and just get ready to continue to get better.
Pascal, you guys are a quarter of the way, or around a quarter of the way into the season. Where do you feel like you guys are just in terms of progress from where you started a month or so ago?
I think we're getting better, but there's still days not so good, and then it's just a matter of consistency. Just continue to trust it every single day. There's gonna be drop-offs, but I think it's just like super drastic drop-off from like game to game, where it's like the energy is good one game and then the energy is not good the other game. So, or like our focus, or like our just like togetherness, or everything else. I think we just gotta put games together. That's kind of like that's got to be our focus.
Can you put your finger on like why that is? That's such a drastic change from game to game.
Yeah, I don't know. You tell me. What you think? What you think? Yeah, I don't know. We're figuring it out, man. I'm sure we talk about it every day. Just trying to figure it out as a team. And again, like I always say, I feel like it's new. It's still new. Like it takes time for teams to figure it out. Like, and we just got to continue to figure it out. Work hard at it. And like hopefully there's gonna be a time where it clicks and we have like a good period of just like games together where we play good basketball.
You've had a few threes that have fallen this year, and you've sort of done the mock, finally, sort of like gesture.
Right.
Obviously, it's something you work on and you've dealt with before. Obviously it's frustrating. What do you do in spurts like this where it's just not dropping at the right time?
I think it's just continue to shoot. I think the most important is just putting the work in. Like, again, there's nothing wrong, with the stuff that I do. I just feel like, again, there's a couple of games where I feel like, two are here, one in and out or whatever, and then it's a different story. Like, I feel like I don't shoot as I like, if I was taking like 7, 8 threes a game, then it's like, it's just a matter of like you take 4 and then 1 or 2 goes in and out, and then you 0 for 4, instead of 2 for 4. So it's just trying to not overact. I think it's either you do one thing, you stop shooting them, or the other thing you do is you keep shooting, and then it's just kind of like I think it's just basketball. It happens, and you just got to continue to work on it. Trust the work and the process, and the work that you put in, and for me, I just believe that it's gonna turn around.
Where have you seen the biggest growth in this team since the beginning of the year?
I think that I think we've had some good rebounding games, but it's still kind of shaky. I think we just continue to work on the offense and the rhythm of everything. The concept on defense, I feel like we had really good defensive games, and I think we can continue to get better on those. But yeah, I think it's just gonna take it doesn't feel like anything is bad. It just feels like nothing is amazing. So we just gotta get it to amazing.
What would a 3-game winning streak do for you guys?
I think we feel good. I think they said, what did they say? I think there's a reward for that. Coach said something like that. So we got to get games in a row. I think that's what it is. Good teams, have those streak of just good games where they win games in a row, and I think that's what's missing for us.
Where have you seen the most growth in Scotty?
You got the growth questions, huh? That's but no, I think Scotty just his focus is different. From the years before, I just feel like his focus, he's putting the work in. You can see that, just in the way he works every single day, and then he's approaching in the game. Even he's just more vocal. He's just more present and focused on the main thing, which is the basketball part. And obviously he's going to continue to get better.
Hey Pascal, Fred spoke on a Woj's podcast today, the free agency process for him. I'm just wondering, you obviously came in the league with Fred, you guys are close friends. What kind of advice did you have for Fred during that time when he was in the league?
Oh, I ain't giving my advice. He's smarter than me, so he figured out. Yeah.
We're about at the quarter mark of the season. How has the first quarter of your first NBA season been for you? What have you learned so far?
Oh, it's been a great, learning experience, and I've talked about in a bunch of interviews with just the vets. Sorry, someone behind the camera. The vets and just the knowledge that they have and Coach Darko has, and just coming in here every single day throughout the start of the season and until now, and just doing the same thing and just learning as much as I can. Still doing that. Continue to do that.
Pascal was just telling us that everyone's still learning Darko's systems. Is it easier for you because you're not changing systems? This is going to be a new system for you regardless.
I think it's still new for everyone. I'm still, you could say I'm used to my system back at Kansas or something like that. So I think everyone's kind of used to what their system was, the past year, and coming to something new and just having the open mind to want to learn, I think is huge for this team, and that I love so much is everyone's willing to do that. And I think when you're willing to do that, as a whole, then that builds that chemistry and builds a close-knit team.
Was anything really surprised you, Gradey, just in terms of the grind or the day-to-day of an NBA season?
I'll just continue to say just the schedule. You're traveling nonstop. You might have a home series here and there, but other than that, it seems like you're in a different city, every other night. So, that's definitely the newest change, but also a fun one too. So.
How was the experience going to the 905 and helping them win for the first game?
It was great. It was just, their opportunity for me to develop, and talking to Coach Darko and, even some of these guys that have gone through that experience is huge to kind of pick their brains and see why that helped and why it's so important for development. And, going in with an open mind and just wanting to work on the things that I need to work on, as I'm playing those minutes and just, play my game, really, I personally do.
Can you play a bit more freely there just because it's specifically for your development rather than having to win? Obviously when you're up here, it's all about winning or mostly about winning. Can you play more freely, or do you not feel that way while you're playing?
I feel like more selflessly, freely, I guess, if, for lack of better terms, but not really the way that I'm going to go in there and be a different player than I am. I'm not going to go in there and try to be a point guard and, come off every screen and dribble 1,000 times. I want to go in there. That's kind of the main thing that Coach Darko emphasized was go in there and do the same things that you'll do with us. Obviously at a more, magnitude rate, but just go in there and, be the player that you're going to be, with us, like I said again, and just continue to be that.
Have they asked you to really focus on anything or hone in on anything specific?
Just what I said of really the things that I've been doing, with the Raptors, just doing that at a higher rate with 905 and doing it more possessions, obviously with more minutes, and it'll be more shots, but make sure it's good shots, opening up for my team, and like I said earlier, not anything that I'm not used to. So.
How was your fitness to go and play 38 minutes compared to the stage you were playing prior to that?
It felt great. Every game, that first kind of up and down, you're kind of, take a deep breath, but after that, the butterflies are gone, those good nerves are gone, and you're back to playing basketball. And it's one of those things where, if you're going hard enough in practice, it's kind of what you're used to in the game. So that's what I try to do is every rep, I want to go as hard as I can. When you do that, then it kind of makes it easier when you're in those game time situations.
Did you find the level significantly different? Smaller, slower? How would it compare to your college experience?
Yeah, it was great talent. It's going to be different, than college just because of, you still have the size of the NBA court, all the rules of the NBA and stuff like that. But, the guys are playing just as hard, because, I feel like everyone has something to prove, and, including me. I want to prove as much as I can, but, when everyone's, in that situation, it makes a really competitive game, and it's fun that way. So I liked it.
Gradey, there was some talk online about maybe potentially change your shot or anything like that. Was there any directive from the team to change your shot?
No. I haven't changed my shot in my entire life. I've had the same shot, since my mom made it when I was 3 years old, just shooting a little inflatable basketball. So, no, I've not changed my shot. The only thing that's different, is just the distance of the NBA three-point line, and that just comes with reps, and finding that art, and really just I think that's what I tried to emphasize, through my draft process and throughout my college was maintaining that shot and being consistent with that. So that's what I'm going to keep on doing. And just more reps and more time, it makes the distance easier. And yeah, I'm just maintaining my own mechanics, everything that I've been doing since I was a little kid.
You mentioned that travel's been an adjustment, but this is sort of the midst of a lengthy homestand. How helpful has it been to just be in Toronto for more than a week and maybe find a rhythm here?
It's been great. It's different when you're going from city to city, and then you're kind of used to. I mean, not really used to it, but you're on the plane, and that's kind of your time to rest. But yeah, like you said, it's nice to be back home, and I had my sister and her husband out, so it's nice to see some family too, and have that little period of time where I can kind of get grounded again, and just stuff like that. So.
And obviously you had to recover from that illness, but the 4-day break between games, how helpful is that for the team in general to reset?
It's great too. I mean, it's a whole lot of time to get recovery, stuff like this where we're practicing and not really having to worry about going full speed on a game tomorrow, and really just kind of sharpening our tools and getting everything back to normal. And yeah, like I said, just a full day to get recovered and go hit the tubs, go get different recovery tools, whatever it is. So it's good. Thank you.
How was your weekend? You got anything fun?
My son's birthday party. It was a lot of fun, a lot of kids. It was energizing for sure. It was a good weekend, good solid work, watched a lot of film. Came back today to the gym with a lot of energy. Guys did a great job today. So another day that we won, and continue winning the days one at a time.
How important is a 4-day break in the midst of now?
Oh, you never get those in NBA. This is new thing, right? But we played 10 games in 17 days, so definitely it was good for everybody just to get away from each other for a day and a half, and just to charge the batteries, come back, and get back to work. It was great seeing everybody back. Everybody's feel refreshed, so it was good to get a little bit of break here.
Pascal was talking about some of the inconsistency, just kind of alternating the good wins and the bad losses. When you guys go back and look at that, when you've watched the film, what's the biggest difference that stands out to you in those games? Is it as simple as just saying the energy is there some nights and it's not there others, or are you noticing other things?
We're constantly searching for the way how to put 48 minutes of good basketball, and on some nights it's in theory it's possible, but in reality it's very, very hard to play full 48 minutes. So you're gonna have some empty minutes, but when you do have those empty minutes, are you still getting defensive stops? Are you still keeping your head up? You're still energy on a high level, and we're not particularly shooting the 3 ball well this season. We gotta fight through that as well. How we're gonna fight through that is being mentally tough and getting maybe more offensive rebounds, that we're trending well, taking care of the ball more, which we're doing a better job lately, and just putting those games together, putting a good defensive performance, and continuing trusting on offense that those shots will fall. In that category, we are underperforming from the expectations, but something that we're working on. And today, a big chunk of our team practice was actually shooting threes and competitive shooting, and just putting emphasis on that.
Are you noticing that some of those other things are slipping during those moments where the shots aren't falling, or is that just human nature?
It is human nature. I think about we miss a layup, that's enough for us not to be back on transition defense and to allow other teams to score, and we're trying to pride ourselves as protecting the paint really well. But if you turn the ball over and miss layups, you're constantly on your heels running back on defense. So I always say the best player development is make layups and make threes. If you can do better at that job, everything else is going to be much better.
You spoke of the 3-ball. Pascal's in a bad slump from deep. Throughout his career, sometimes he's been league average-ish, sometimes he's not been. Where do you stand on his diet of shots, and specifically how active do you want him to be from deep?
Right. And a couple of things there. First of all, you cannot take three ball completely out. You gotta take some shots and make defense honest and not allow them to pick you up at the free throw line and just being constantly under. I thought at the start of the games that he was taking good shots. I also thought that he had more, but he did not force it. If he would want, he could easily take 10 or 12 or 15 threes a game, but he's being more conscientious to attack more on the closeouts, on go and catch situations, and putting more pressure at the rim that way to drive the ball and connect with teammates.
Have you seen enough of your rotation to kind of consider a different look at the bottom of it, maybe more minutes for Otto, or maybe even going the other way? Some of the two-way guys getting looks. Have you kind of, when you look over the 20 games, is there any information you gleaned from that?
Yeah, I mean, definitely. We're constantly looking at analytic numbers and who's performing well over there in those limited minutes that Otto played with us. Offensively, he was really helping us. But at the same time, like, fighting to get Otto in conditioning, to get his good rhythm there. That's why he's taking participation in those play groups and going up and down, getting his conditioning and his rhythm back. We just gotta find the appropriate amount of games for him to play before he maybe gets 1 or 2 games break before he gets back in the rhythm there. So definitely we're talking a lot about that, and Otto is a great player with a lot of experience in this league, and he can help us on that end of the floor and defensively as well. When he played, he had a couple of good deflections and plays at the rim. He just knows how to play, so definitely we're looking at that heavily.
Would you consider the other way too, like some of your young guys too?
Yes, we just cannot get those guys healthy enough, and Ron re-injured his ankle the other day, not Ron, Javon. Ron still, trying to find his rhythm back. Marquise still did not play again, trying to get those guys some rhythm and feel there before we use them. And that's why those games that Gradey also is playing, it's very healthy and good for him to find those minutes and rhythm before he comes and plays for us.
We asked you after the game the other day about where you feel this team's at after 20 games. You've had a few days to kind of reflect on that. What areas are you happy with, and what areas do you think need to be worked on the most?
Yeah, that's a very good question. So this morning we had our 20 games analytics meetings that we presented to our guys, like stuff that we did well. We compared first 10 games of the season with the second 10 games of the season. In first 10, I think we were ranked 5th or 6th defensively. Our offense was not good. Since then, our offense made a jump. From 108 points per 100 possessions, we came to 114. So we made some strides offensively there. We limited number of turnovers. We're doing better job with offensive rebounding. In those second 10 games, Chaco said second 10 games, we really underperforming three-point shooting offensively. That was one heavy thing that really stands out. And then defensively, we're having more deflections per game. We're kind of like little decline with the transition points, just as I said, missing a couple of those layups that allows teams to run on us. We gotta get better there. We gotta get better protecting the paint and continue heavy contesting our opponents. That's one thing that in this league, the wall of threes go out. We gotta protect the paint first and have a lot of urgency to defend the three-point line as well. So it's those multiple things. There are things that we made strides, and there are now focus for us on 3-4 things offensively and defensively in next 10 games that we would like to make strides as well.
With contesting threes, it seems like there are more jumps and then side steps by the shooter at like heavy contests. Do you have obviously the perfect thing is to walk up and get your, what is the right way to contest what's going to be a good three-point look, I guess?
Yeah, that's one thing that kind of changed over the last couple of years. If you remember in the playoff series with Zaza Pachulia and Kawhi landing on his leg and injured, and since then it's really, really hard to contest 3 points and to stay in front of the player. Yeah. Because league is really trying to protect players and from injuries, and if you're trying to contest that way, they land kind of like in front of you. You can pick up fouls, and not fouling at the three-point line is a big part. So now everything that's above the break, even like corner threes, you gotta go more on a side and try to change those shots as much as you can, which it's not as good contest as if you're completely your body in front. So whole league, everybody's trying to adjust to that, and it's not easy one, and especially the way a league is developing, more and more shooting and more three-point attempts, it becomes a big deal how you do that. Like, every time when we have a practice like this, even shoot rounds, we're trying to drill that. We're trying to drill closeouts and how to change shots.
And I assume on the other end, more shooters are practicing more side steps more often.
As you can imagine, they're trying to get more side steps and to take advantage of the rules so they can get those shots off. It's like if you remember, like a couple of years ago with Houston Rockets when they had James Harden, like, and all the threes that they were shooting, like your game planning, all this take away. You cannot take away threes if they decide to take shots. It's just the level of contestedness is gonna be. Are they gonna be easier or harder for them? So.
How do you practice three-point shooting? Is it just come in here and take 100 shots or 200 shots, or is there something more than just doing it over and over again?
I think that there are multiple things there with the three-point shooter. First thing is like you got to identify what shots you're working on. How do you getting your shots more to be spot-up shots, so you can work on that in this team setup or individually. Then if your shots are coming off the movement, you got to figure out what those moves are. How are you getting your shots? What is the footwork on those? And then really putting the work in. There is no substitute for coming in the gym and putting the work in. We have assistant coach on our staff who is, as you can see, we have a bunch of cameras over here tracking every shot, the arc on the shot, if the ball is going left and right, and we're trying to identify what are those margins where we can get better, and how we can improve. And it's a small thing, but we improved our three-point shooting by 1% game, 11 to 20 comparing to the start of the season. And we're going to continue working on that. If every month or every 10 games, if we can get better by 1%, that would be awesome.
I see Christian taking some post-ups over there. Is there any update on him? Is he getting closer?
He's still in the same status. He's getting some shots. He's doing a little bit more on the court with coaches right now, but nothing further than that.
Pascal mentioned you're offering a reward or a prize or something for a 3-game winning streak. Is that?
Yes, that's something that I took very to heart, to be honest with you. When I announced that, Pascal said, "Yeah, team is gonna pay for that. Like, he thinks I'm cheap." And that's not true. So once we get 3 wins in a row, I'm taking staff and players to the dinner, and it's going to be out of my pocket. So yes, I stay in the
media too as well, I assume. No.
We'll make it happen. I like you guys a lot, so we'll make it happen.
Oh. Thank you.